This is the North Pacific Ocean. In simple words, it's the Pacific Ocean, and hidden here lies a mysterious invisible island. You can't see it on any global map or even in satellite view. Yet it's so massive that it's twice the size of Pakistan, half the size of India, and big enough to fit several European countries inside it. And you can only see it if you pass through the area by ship. But the scariest thing I see that is invisible. It asks that this invisible island is slowly taking our lives. Not just yours or mine, but all of humanity's. And yes, this is 100% true. So how is that possible? This is where the real mystery begins. This island isn't made of soil or rock. It's made of something we created and threw away. Plastic. Yes, this isn't a natural island, but a gigantic floating mass of millions of tons of plastic waste, known to scientists as the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. It's a sea of trash swirling between ocean currents, and it keeps growing every year. The shocking part is that it's not just floating on the surface. Most of it has dissolved into microscopic form. Tiny pieces of plastic, called microplastics, so small they're invisible to the naked eye. But they're in every fish, every shrimp, every drop of seawater. And when we eat these marine creatures, they end up in our plates, our bodies, even our breath. Now you might wonder, how can microplastics harm the human body? Science says they enter our cells and disrupt hormone systems, weaken immunity, and cause permanent damage over time. Now, but the real question, the most beautiful view of our planet, Earth, seen from space, blue oceans so calm and deep, as if the whole world hides beneath them. But do you know that hidden within these same blue oceans is a place invisible to the world, an area even satellites struggle to detect clearly? Scientists say it's twice the size of Pakistan, half of India, and larger than several European countries combined. And the most shocking part, this island can't even be seen. Yet it exists. You can only witness it if you sail through it. The real fear isn't its invisibility. It's the fact that this invisible island is killing us. Not just you and me, but all of humanity. This island isn't made of earth or rock. It's formed from plastic bags, bottles, fishing nets, containers, and industrial waste that we have dumped. It's a moving island, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch, located between California and Hawaii. It's so vast that even if you place France, Germany, and Spain together inside it, there'd still be space left. And the strangest thing, it's not just a heap of trash, but a living system, an artificial world where new organisms, bacteria, and viruses are emerging. This micro-world is now becoming a threat not only to marine life, but also to humans. So where did all this garbage come from? If you study geography, you know the Earth has 5 major oceanic gyres: the North and South Pacific, the North and South Atlantic, and the Indian Ocean Gyre. These gyres rotate ocean currents in specific directions, causing light objects like plastic and foam to get trapped in the center. Over time, these currents collect plastics from all corners of the world into this one region, the North Pacific. Every year, around 8 million tons of plastic enter the ocean, equivalent to one full garbage truck being dumped into the sea every minute. Rivers and drains carry plastic to the ocean, and over decades, this process has formed a massive floating island of waste. When scientists measured its size, they found it spans 1.6 million square kilometers, half the size of Mexico, and it's still growing. When researchers examined the area, they saw the ocean shimmering strangely, with a chemical-like smell in the air. Plastic debris, old fishing nets, entangled turtles and fish, a sight straight out of a disaster movie. But this disaster wasn't caused by nukes. It's the result of our daily habits. Plastic never truly disappears. It takes hundreds of years to degrade. Scientists even found pieces from the 1970s still intact. Even more shocking, under microscopes, every bit of plastic had turned into a habitat for microorganisms, bacteria, algae, and tiny worms living together on plastic surfaces. They called this new ecosystem the plastosphere, a world born from human waste. Some bacteria have even evolved to eat plastic for energy. But here's the dark truth. These microbes include unknown bacteria and parasites, some antibiotic resistant, some genetically mutated, potentially carrying new viruses. They can travel with ocean currents, spreading diseases to marine life and possibly humans. And that's not all. The plastic layer floating on the ocean blocks sunlight from reaching phytoplankton, the microscopic plants that produce oxygen. This means oxygen levels in these waters are dropping, threatening deep-sea life. But the biggest concern for us humans, these plastics aren't just killing marine animals. They're poisoning us. When plastic breaks down under sunlight and salt water, it turns into nanoplastics, so tiny they can penetrate living cells. They've been found in fish blood, seabird brains, and even in human heart tissue. Studies show that people with higher levels of microplastics in their bodies have double the risk of heart disease. And this triggers another terrifying cycle. As ocean water evaporates, microplastics rise into the atmosphere, mix with clouds, and fall back to Earth in raindrops. Meaning, the same plastic bottle that entered the ocean years ago is now returning to your rooftop as rain. Microplastics have been detected everywhere, from Himalayan glaciers to Antarctic ice sheets. There's no place on Earth left untouched by human-made dust. Plastic isn't just a visible pollutant. It's an invisible poison. It releases chemicals like BPA, phthalates, and PFAS that disrupt human hormones. These toxins accumulate in fish, then move up the food chain, to us. So, the food from the ocean has turned from nourishment to contamination. Scientists warn that if this continues, these chemicals could fundamentally alter human reproduction and immunity in the coming decades. We have entered a new era, the plastic age, where we live, breathe, and slowly perish in a world made of our own waste. So what can we do about this? Can we stop this process and save ourselves? Many countries and organizations are trying. For example, the Ocean Cleanup Project uses massive floating systems that move with ocean currents to collect surface plastic. They've already removed tons of waste, but that's just the surface layer. The microplastics dissolved deep below are almost impossible to retrieve. Every day, far more plastic enters the sea than cleanup projects can remove. This has become a global crisis. However, scientists have found a glimmer of hope. Microorganisms that can break down plastic. They've developed protease enzymes, which digest plastic polymers into reusable compounds. Some natural marine bacteria are also evolving to digest plastic. Science has a solution, but it's slow. By the time these technologies scale up, the damage could already be irreversible. That's why in 2022, the United Nations began negotiations on a global plastic treaty, urging every country to limit plastic production and waste. Some nations have banned single-use plastics and microbeds, but experts say it's like a drop in the ocean. If production continues at this rate by 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in the sea. Coastal communities are already feeling it. Fish populations are collapsing, fishermen are losing livelihoods, and beaches covered in plastic have become horror scenes for tourism. With every high tide, the ocean returns our trash, bottles, bags, wrappers, as if saying, "What you gave me, I'm giving back to you." It may sound poetic, but in reality, it's a warning. The ocean is striking back. The poison we dumped into it is returning through air, water, and food into our bodies. Scientists warn that if things don't change in the next few decades, ocean ecosystems will permanently collapse. Phytoplankton will die, the food chain will break, and vast dead zones will form where no life can exist. But humans, we only react when destruction stares us in the face. So what do you think about this invisible island of trash? Tell me in the comments below. If you found this video informative, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. And before you go, don't miss Outscale's free AI program. The link is in the description. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. And now, go watch the next video, where we talk about the crisis inside the Tata Group after Ratan Tata's exit. What really happened that pushed the company to the edge? It's a fascinating story. Go check it out. See you in the next episode.